I'd like to call the meeting to order and acknowledge that we're in Treaty 1 territory, the home and traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, Innu Cree, and Dakota peoples, and the national homeland of the Red River Métis. Our drinking water comes from Shoal Lake 40 First Nations in Treaty 3 territory. I'm Marcel Larondo. I'll be chairing. Diane Knight and Carrie Linkletter are coming to us via Zoom. Our assessment department today is Marina Tinaruawara. Sorry, Marina. I make a mess of it every time. And our administrative personnel today is Sally Caulfield. To the Zoom participants of the hearing, please note that you are placed in the waiting room until your property is called upon. When it is your turn, you will be admitted into the meeting. Kindly follow along on the City of Winnipeg's Board of Revision YouTube channel for the hearing in process. Once the host admits you into the hearing, please close or mute your YouTube player. You will then be permitted to speak with respect to your property. Once your hearing is concluded, you can leave the meeting. We'll be hearing applications for revision of business assessment role in accordance with the Municipal Act and the City of Winnipeg Charter. The matters for which revision is requested have been described in each application, and we will limit discussions to those matters. The statements that are made at this hearing are sworn testimony, and anyone speaking to the matter must be sworn in. Be advised that comparisons of assessment of properties are not considered evidence of market value by the Board of Revision. The Board of Revision is appointed annually by Council and is independent of it and the City Administration. It makes its decisions on the basis of the evidence provided at this hearing and issues a written order that will be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that the Board's decision with respect to an application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to assessed value, or the Court of King's Bench if the matter pertains to the application of exemption from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, information on how to do so will be included with the board order. With respect to the hearing process, I will confirm the points of appeal with your property to be addressed with each applicant following the swearing in. We will then have the assessor's testimony followed by questions that the applicant may have, and then the applicant's testimony followed by questions. Each side will have an opportunity to summarize if they wish. Once all the evidence about an application has been brought forward, the applicant may leave. The process will repeat for each item on the docket today. The session will close after all the applications have been heard, and the board will deliberate in private and make its decisions. You will receive the board's decision by registered mail as soon as possible. As information, all public hearings are live streamed, recorded, and will be part of the public record. We will be hearing on items 1 to 3 and 5 to 10 on our docket today. Ms. Caulfield, please affirm the assessor and the applicant's testimony.
Please state your full name. You affirm that the evidence you are about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Thank you. Mr. Costa? You are here. Mike is here. Okay, please stand.
Oh, yes.
State your full name.
Tony Costa.
Do you affirm that the evidence you are about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Zoom participants, I'll be putting you into the waiting room now.
You got them there yet?
Yep.
Marina, we'll be starting with item number 1, and that's 21 Forks Market L118. When you are ready.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Property address L1821 Forks Market Road. Business assessment ID 27729. Business name Johnson Terminal and Dick Mall. This property, this business value using $4.24 per square feet, which is the model driven basement leasable rent. We consider a basement as a poor condition basement when we set up the model for run the rental value market rent. this year we use the model range to value the folks. So this is the part of the folks assessment. This business value, we use $4.25 plus occupancy cost. We final valuation for the annual rental value 47,820, which is the model driven. You can see all the comparables. All the comparables are from the folk market road, but those are superior to this business space, and all of the rents were higher than these leases. These leases are higher, but those are not the basements. But particular unit is a basement. We consider as the poor quality basement. We believe $4.24 is the correct market range for these units to value. I'm asking to finalize the value as the annual rental as 47,820. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Maureen. Tony, do you have any questions of the assessor?
Just to clarify, the address is L1825. Excuse me, 25 Forks Market Road. 21. The address for 21 is actually the Travel Manitoba building. We are located in 25, not 21.
Okay. Just 1 second, please.
Sure.
Give me 1 second. That'll teach me for not shutting it off. Sorry about that. Okay, so we're going to get you to explain the difference between. Is that going to make a difference, Marina, on the location?
No, because folks under the folks roll number, we have different civic addresses. 25 Folks Market will be the civic address. I can check the civic address, but this is the correct location, correct bit. Folks has many different civic addresses.
Okay. Go ahead and ask your questions, Tony.
Okay. The reason why, and forgive me, I'm new to business and everything. My father is the one that has been running the mall for many years now. We feel that the assessment is high. Compared to last year, I mean, our assessment was 21.8, and now it has jumped up 120%, and we're kind of wondering why it is so high, considering it is a basement. The layout is very poor to put anything else down there. It really cannot be rented for anything else other than for our use.
Can I stop you for a second, Tony?
Sure, yes.
That'll be part of your presentation. Do you have any questions for the assessor at this time?
No, I'm sorry, no.
Okay, let us see if we have any questions for her.
Okay.
We'll be right back to you. Don't worry about it. Everything works out.
Yeah.
Carrie, any questions?
I do not.
Yes, Ms. Tenawara, did you have a chance to inspect this property?
Not particularly this unit, but I inspect the Folks Market Square. That for the realty at that time we went through the Folks, not particularly purpose of this business assessment.
Okay, so were you actually yourself in this premise?
Pardon me? Not this unit, because we roughly visit for the folks to do the realty appeal. That's all I did for the inspection wise this one.
All right, I thank you. That's all my questions, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Diane, do you have any questions?
No, I do not. Thank you.
Thank you. Marina, looking at your page, there's only one page. When you've got the subject lease information, there's no rental value on that. Is there a reason?
Not reported rental value because the folks income census mailer does not report any rental value for this location. That's why we don't. When I run the brief, it doesn't generate.
So they're not showing a rent for that location. So we'll have to ask Tony what it is then, I guess. Unless he's getting it for.
He provided the information for the appeal.
Mm-hmm.
He provided the lease information for appeal for his unit.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. So, okay, Tony,
Yes.
we're going to go on to your presentation now. Please.
Okay, so again, the assessment was 21.8 last time, and this time around it has jumped 120% to 47.9. We feel that it's very high. The reason being is the space is a basement. We have no windows, we have no doors, we have no washrooms. We deal with insects, mice. Poor air quality down there. It does still have a slight smell of the timbers that were treated when the building was renovated. The layout is, the space is sporadic. It's all over the place. The ceilings are quite low. If you were to put like a drop ceiling, you'll have areas where your ceiling is going to be at 6 feet, 6.5 feet high. Just because of all the exposed plumbing, heating, electrical, heating ducts, makeup units, all that is exposed in the ceilings. The floor is strictly concrete. It is not level in certain areas. When the building was renovated way back by, I believe Mar West was the property manager at the time, that space sat empty for a couple of years just because they were not prepared to do anything with it because of the layout and all the, the things I just mentioned. It just wasn't worth their while, I guess. And they had come up with an idea of putting an antique mall down there, which is, as you know, most of them are in warehouses and old, retail, rundown retail buildings and stores and stuff. We don't spend a lot of money on fancy lighting or this and that. It's basically move in a bunch of antiques and put them in wherever you can fit them in every corner and just basically go from there. There's we're in the basement, so we're prone to leaks from old pipes, burst pipes. We've had a couple of those in the past. We've had some water backup. Our rent is, believe it or not, we pay $600 a month plus GST, and that's stated in our lease as is, where is, no warranties applied. Just because of the fact that it is what it is. We don't pay any utilities either. Because the only thing we use is basically electricity. We don't have any plumbing down there. We don't even have a washroom in our facility. It's actually down the hall to the other side of the basement. I'm just going over my notes here and stuff. Yeah. So, if we were to, I'll give you an example. If we were to close down at the end of the month, that space basically is going to remain vacant until, as long as the building is standing, basically, because they can't do anything with the space. The antique mall was kind of like the only thing that they could figure out what they could do with the space. And that's basically all it's good for, considering all of everything I've mentioned about the low ceilings and all the exposed plumbing and heating and all that kind of stuff. So we feel that it's just excessive. Even at 21.8, I mean, that's fine. We left it at that. We're not going to argue that. If there's an increase, I know everything is going up. That's fine. I expect a 5-10% increase, but 120%, that's pretty excessive. And, we're just a small business, family run business. I don't know how much longer, we can stay in business. I mean, we have high overhead costs, even though that our rent is ridiculously cheap, but it's, the antique market has changed considerably in the last 15-20 years. And, we've managed to survive 2 years of COVID and everything, and, all the lockdowns and stuff. So it has taken a toll, and, every little bit helps where we can save some money. So that's basically what we're arguing, and, hope you guys see it that way. Thank you.
Marina, do you have any questions?
I have only one question. You pay anything other than $600 per square per month? You mean the management or proportion of corporate property tax?
We just pay $600 a month.
That's
plus
all.
$600 a month plus GST. We don't pay no utilities, nothing else.
Nothing else?
No.
Even no proportion for the property tax or anything? Nothing? Okay. That's all my question, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Diane, do you have any questions?
Yeah, question was just answered. Thanks.
Carrie, do you have any questions?
Yes, Mr. Costa, did you appeal this last time around?
I don't believe we did. No, we never went through a hearing or anything.
Okay, I thank you. And Mr. Chair, could I just redirect to Ms. Tenawera?
Yes, you may.
Ms. Tenawera, I'm just looking again at your brief, and I'm sorry you may have stated this, I may have missed it, but your comparables, although 8 of them are within the Forks, none of them are in the basement, correct?
No, those are actually superior locations, because we can't find the basement rental rates. We set the model to leasable poor. Last cycle we override to $1.50. This cycle is staying the model given. That's the difference between last cycle and this cycle, if we compare.
All right, I thank you. That's all my questions, Mr. Chair.
Now, Marina, I'm going to direct you first, Marina. If they're not paying for heat, electricity, water, or air conditioning, if they even have air conditioning,
we can remove those ones. Honestly, I certainly would like to remove those ones if there's no water. Is there any air conditioning in the basement?
There is.
There is.
Yeah, we have heating and air conditioning. Yeah.
They have heating and electricity and air conditioning.
Yeah.
Water, you don't have any water running.
No, we don't use any water.
No, even for wash tap.
Nothing, because it's not even in our facility.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can remove the water from this one for the next time. When I said clear the thing, I can set up the water remove from here.
But it's included in their rent of $600.
Yes, right now it's included in the brief, because usually we consider every tenant unit has the water, because at least they have a sink to wash hands. Water, that's how we consider for the units. That's why it's there.
Okay.
He confirmed he didn't have it.
And to you, Tony, Nick's not here. He'd know, but when was the occupancy permit issued for this room, this space?
We just did a recent one about a year ago or so. I guess the last one was, I don't know, something happened. It was misplaced, or so we had to reapply for a new one. So we reapplied and went through the whole procedure and everything.
You applied and they did the inspection. Did they give you occupancy for the entire area, or did they reduce it the size because of the ceiling height in that one portion?
You know what? I do not know. We had all the inspections from the fire department and from the city. They all came in, and I guess they just, they looked at everything, measured everything up, and that's it. I don't know any more than that.
How much of the area is there that's got that 6-foot ceiling?
I can't give you a square footage, but throughout the basement in our space, there's probably 4 areas where the makeup units are suspended. They hang pretty low. So you would not be able to put drop ceilings in that area. I did submit some photographs. I don't know if you received the photographs or not, because there's a picture of one of our staff standing directly below one of those units. So it kind of gives you an idea of the height in that space. And that's pretty much the same in some of the other spaces.
I'm just going to take a look and see if there was a add-on for pictures.
Yeah.
Pictures is at the end of his presentation.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah.
If I can say something else, the water, the plumbing and stuff. Again, we don't have an actual washroom, physical washroom in our space. It's actually down the hall on the other side of the building. The other side of the basement of the Johnson Terminal building is basically just storage rooms. They're just they're for all the retail shops upstairs. The third and fourth floor are all office. So they do have storage rooms downstairs where they keep old, computers, fax machines, any documents and stuff like that. So half of the basement is storage. Our half is the antique mall. We don't have any plumbing per se in our area. Even the lighting, all the track lighting that you see in some of the pictures, we don't even pay for light bulbs. They actually replace all the light bulbs when they're burnt out. That's also included too. Yeah. It's a sweet deal, I know. But that's how it was. Actually, we've been in business for 27 years. And the first 18 years, we were paying $500 a month. And then it started to go up a little bit. We've renewed twice. They're always 3-year contracts. So the last 2 contracts, it's gone up $50, and that's it. Basically, it probably pays for their electricity bill down there, because, like, again, it is what it is. It's a basement.
Okay, I'm just going to take a look at the pictures. I don't want to.
Sure. Yeah.
Marina, have you looked at these pictures?
Yes, I did.
Unfinished floors, unfinished ceilings, low ceilings.
Yeah. Photograph number 5. You'll see the staff standing underneath one of the makeup units.
Chair looks like it's art. Okay, Marina, you said you have not been in there, right?
No, not in this particular.
Had you seen these pictures before his presentation on these pictures?
Yes, I do. Because after I received those ones 2 days ago.
Yeah, you really think that's worth $4.25 a square foot?
Pardon me, $4.25. This cycle, we mostly use the model driven. The model driven we set for the leasable poor. That's the lowest we could go. Last cycle it was override rental rates. This cycle it's not. That's all I can tell.
Yeah, you could have overridden it though, correct? If you had seen it.
But it's a good location, and it is not the storage rental rates. That's why I didn't override, because it's used as a retail business. Even though it's quality wise, if the location is really bad, it's poor, then we consider the poor leasable area.
Yeah. Okay, I guess you and I differ on that. I've got no further questions. Anything in summation? Marina?
No, I don't need to. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Tony, anything in summation?
No, that's it. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Just before we go, Mr. Chair, I just wanted to say something to Mr. Costa.
Yes.
That's okay. Nothing to do with this hearing, but I just wanted to let you know, my sister and I, we go to different places and we're always looking for signs in fur coats that say Delaney's Furs. And in your unit, we found one. Delaney's Furs was mine.
Oh, really? I'm sorry, maybe I misunderstood. I'm sorry, can you repeat that again?
Sorry,
You're breaking up, Diane.
Yeah.
But my father and grandfather owned a business called Delaney's Furs, and they had tags they put in fur coats. And in your building, in your unit, there is a fur coat with a Delaney's Furs tag on it.
Oh, there is. Okay.
They're in, and we've always been looking for them wherever we go anywhere. And it was kind of nice to my sister walked through there and found one. So
that's good. That's good to hear. We have actually two ladies that are set up down there that do the vintage clothing, and they bring in some really, really fine stuff.
yeah, it's pretty cool. Anyways, just wanted to add that. I couldn't thank you personally. So
Thank you.
anyway, thanks.
Okay, that will conclude that matter. And we'll be moving on to, as soon as I find docket, item number 2, 1682 Grant Avenue.
Thank you for the information.
Great.
Thank you. Thanks, Tony.
Great. Thank you very much for your time.
So, Mr. Chair, I have my camera off because I'm having issues with internet right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we've seen you already for the day.
You know I exist. Seems to only happen to me when we're in that room.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen in the other ones.
Sally, if you could let me know when you've got the John in.
You can go ahead. There is no one appearing on behalf of the applicant.
No one appearing on behalf of the applicant? Have you heard from the applicant?
I
Have you-
have not, but I believe the assessor has something to say on the matter.
Okay, that'll be good. Marina, if you can read the record then.
Okay, I didn't hear anything from the applicant, but I'm going to make a recommendation and we can, as per the realty, I would like to make a recommendation.
Sure, but read the information on first, okay?
Okay, sure, thank you. Thank you, Madam, Mr. Chair.
And
Property address.
start with the file number, okay?
Okay, sure. File number 223997. Property address 1, Unit 1, 1682 Grant Avenue. Business assessment ID 7153. Business name River Heights Family Chiropractic. Current ARV is 41,160. Today I'm making a recommendation to reduce to 36,720. It is marked in my recommendation column, the value. It is based on realty appeal recommendation. Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't catch that. 36,280 at a realty rent of what?
36,720, which
Thank
is
you.
this recommendation column.
The rent is at $32.20 at $18 a square foot now, right?
Thank
That's
you.
right.
So again, the total is
36.20.
I'm sorry, I keep breaking up, but the total is?
36,720.
Thank you. Sorry to do this, but
No problem. What kind of problems are you having with the internet? Can you reboot it?
you know how you get the 4 bars or whatever? I'm down to 1. And it's no different on my phone, so it's not gonna make any difference right now. I
Okay.
guess I could call in, but,
No.
maybe, Sally, maybe send me the phone-in number in case I lose everything, please.
It should be.
Is it on there
should
already?
be- It should be on the email, but I can take a look and email it to you again.
Yeah, perfect. Oh, okay. Yeah, thanks. Just in case.
Did you have any questions of the assessor on this one? Diane?
No, thank you. No, thank you.
Okay, Carrie, do you have any questions?
I have no questions. Thank you.
No? Okay. It's a wreck. And the appellant's not here. Well, that'll conclude that matter for today. We'll shut that one down. We'll go to item number 3.
I'm admitting her now.
Okay, I've still got to open it up, so. Item number 3, docket. Let me know when the appellant is there. And just swear the appellant in when she gets there, please.
Ms. Riddell? I think she's running back to her computer. Hey, can you unmute, please? There we go.
Sorry, I thought that was going to take longer, so I let my dog out.
I think she's running back to her computer.
That's what you call delay.
Yeah.
Okay, swear Ms. Riddell in, please.
All right. Ms. Riddell, please state your full name. Can you unmute, please? There we go.
It's Marsha Marie Riddell.
I thought that was going to take longer, so I let my dog out.
We're getting
I think she's running back to her computer.
Sally, can you check what's feedback? Okay, swear Ms. Riddell
You
in.
still have the YouTube thing on?
All
Maybe
right.
that's the problem.
Ms. Riddell, please state your full name.
Could be
Unmute, please.
just 1 second here. Yeah.
It's Marsha.
YouTube's off now. Better.
Sorry.
Now we're ready to go to the races.
Okay. Ms. Riddell, please state your full name.
Marsha Marie Riddell.
Do you affirm that the evidence you are about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Maureen, when you are, Marina, when you are ready.
Yes, I am. Thank you, Mr. Chair. File number 22-4006. Roll year 2023. Business assessment ID 54419. 54419. Address Unit 201, 555 Sterling Lion Parkway. This is this business located inside the outlet mall. Business name is Chendi Toy. This unit has 2,403 square feet. We assess as using $41.84 per square feet plus occupancy cost. Total annual rental value as currently 106,560. There are no property lease information reported to us for this unit. all the comparables are within the outlet mall. You can see the comparables, comparable rents vary from $100 to $40 range. This year, outlet mall, we do not use any override rental rates. Every rental rate we use as a model-driven market rents. Model-driven market rents are vary within the size factor. A smaller unit has a higher rental rates and lower units, bigger units has a lower rental rates. This unit has 2,403 square feet. We use $41.84, which is comparable to other 2,639 units, which is my last comparable. They pay $40 per square feet. These rental rates are $41.84 in the market level of rents for the outlet mall. I'm asking to confirm the annual rental value as. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Ms. Rydell, do you have any questions?
I have a couple. Yep. So I do know that there are at least 4, if not 5, other local businesses within the outlet mall. Why didn't you use any of those for comparison numbers?
Because it doesn't matter who use the unit. We use the model-driven market rental rates. All of the model, when we assess for the value for the model for this assessment cycle 2023, we use model-driven market rents only based on the size factor. Smaller unit has the higher rental rates and bigger units has the lower rental rates. That's the pattern. You can see we do not consider. We did not consider about the who occupied the units because we consider the fact. That's why I did not bring any of those. Even though I bring those ones, those are not the. There are some kind of many other agreements. Those are not market rents.
Okay, and so this property has actually been assessed once before. So we were assessed around the same value in and around 100,000 the first time that we occupied the unit. And we did come to do this that time as well and got it reduced to, I believe it was around 56,000. So why do you feel it should be back up to double again?
It is not back up to double again. It is the considering market rents, because I know some agreements, those are the tentative agreements, those are licensing agreements with the owner. They have many other things. It is not the real lease, it is a kind of licensing. They pay lower rental rates because owner wants to someone to occupy the unit. They gave the lower rental rates. We cannot consider those rent as a market rents. That's why we don't reverse to those special licensing agreement or rental rates. Even though it's the next cycle, it will back up. Even though this cycle is reduced, it will back up to again the market rental rates.
Okay.
No further
That's all the questions I have. Yeah.
Carrie, do you have any questions?
I have no questions. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Diane, do you have any questions?
I do. On your where it says subject lease information, that wasn't provided.
I did not hear the question.
On your presentation, under the subject lease information where it says owner occupied, no, and the rent type and the reported area, the rental rate shows 0. You weren't able to get any information?
Because it has a special kind of agreement with the owner. Then we consider they consider those ones as the no rental information. It's not the net rent.
Okay, thank you.
What type of rental unit is this, Marina?
Those are licensing agreements. She provides the pages, her briefs, she provides the agreement.
I'm asking what type of business?
They pay the lower rental rates plus percentage rents.
I realize that, but what type of business is it?
Oh, this business name, Trendy Toys.
So it's a toy store. We have, I guess I'll have some questions for the applicant after. I've got no further questions. Ms. Rydell, if you could put your presentation forward, please.
Yeah, so we are a local business. We do actually have locations in multiple malls throughout Winnipeg, so we do appeal our stores quite often. I guess the first thing is that we've attached our licensing agreement there, and you can see that for the period of 2021, which we were present in that location, our total rental value was around $50,000. In that lease, we don't actually pay utilities, like they're included in the, like there's no additional cost to us for utilities. Our rent has not changed. We've occupied that space since 2018. Our rent has not changed since then. And it's maintained around the $50,000. In these leases too, they also have a 30-day clause in them. So if they feel like they can get more rent from a certain company, such as a national brand, or just anybody that is willing to pay more money than us, they can remove us from that location in 30 days. They have the option to move us to another location in the mall, or just terminate our lease, and we have to move out of the mall. There is a map on there showing where our location is. So in the mall, typically the prime locations in a mall are closer to the food court. So anything that isn't near the food court is generally a place that they're willing to lease out as what they call a specialty lease, which is why they probably don't show our actual rental rates on there. The comparable rates are pretty difficult because those rates are showing from 2017. The outlet mall opened in May of 2017. So at that time, those are going to be prime rates where people are excited and happy to get into that mall. Our lease was actually signed at the end of 2018, so November of 2018, which is the same rate that we're still currently paying today. So sorry, I lost my train of thought on that one. Sorry, I totally lost my train of thought. I'll just move on to the next one then, sorry. So we did include a premise that's at St. Vital Mall, which I know is not the same location, but it's the only one that we could find that had a local business that was assessed at one point, or assessed within the last couple of weeks here, reassessed, as well as a location that has not been assessed. They are directly across from each other, which I've shown you a photo of. One of them has been assessed down significantly. I think it was less than half. And the other one is actually in the room today going through her appeal as well. So those are the differences in the actual values of what is being paid in malls currently right now. The other thing too is that in 2021, while we were only closed for the month of January, we were reduced to like a 10 to 25% capacity rate throughout the duration of that year. So the malls at that time were just happy to get a rent check from anybody. And then going forward, it seemed to be getting a little bit better, but I think that's pretty much covers most of it.
Okay, Marina, do you have any questions?
Yes, Mr. Chair. My question, do you pay any percentage rent? How often you pay the percentage rent for the, other than the rent you agreed?
We would typically pay it in November and December, which would be our two busiest months of the year. But the other months were significantly under. So I would say the most rent that we would pay out of that location per year would be around $60,000 per year with a percentage rent. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. That's all my questions.
Diane, do you have any questions?
I do not, actually.
Okay. Carrie, do you have any questions?
I have no questions, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Anything in summation from Marina?
No, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Marcia, do you have anything that you'd like to say in summation? Maybe what you forgot the first time?
I still don't even know where I was. I'm so lost. I'm really sorry about that.
No problem. Just trying to give you a catch-up opportunity.
I appreciate it.
Okay, this will conclude the matter for this on the docket. Thank you, Marcia, for coming. That's your only one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. And
Thank you.
you're hearing from us. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay.
We'll move on to item number 4. No, number 5, I mean, because 4 is not there anymore.
All right, it's Mr. Cordingley. Will you unmute, please, Mr. Cordingley?
Yeah, there we go.
Perfect. Could you state your full name, please?
James Andrew Cordingley.
Do you affirm that the evidence you are about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Do we have a presentation for Mr. Cordley on this? Or is he just coming verbal?
Verbally.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. On with your presentation, Maureen. Please read it onto the record.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. File number 22-4004, 2023, property address 3A, 1225 St. Mary's Road, business name Khitan Kabadul. This is this business located in the Central Mall. Property business unit size is 4,941 square feet. We use $33.93 plus occupancy cost to assess this business annual rental value. Final annual rental value is 180,000. They were reported rent. They are paying rents as the $25.50 as reported by the owner. I have comparables. Comparables are within the St. Vital Shopping Center. Lowest comparable is $33.76, which is unit size is 3,554. The highest rental rate as my comparables is $50 per square feet. We use the model-driven market rent for this unit to assess for this year cycle. I'm asking to confirm the annual rental value as $180,000. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Do you have any questions, sir?
I guess I would like to know what dates were the comparables based on? When would those leases have been?
Some are 2017, 2018, 2014. My newest lease, 2 new leases, 2018, and I have 2017 leases and 2014.
Okay, thank you.
No further questions?
That's the only question.
Okay. Carrie, any questions?
Yes, Ms. Tenawera, your brief is all model driven, correct?
Yes, all model driven.
Okay. I thank you. That's all my questions.
Diane,
I have no questions, thanks.
is there a reason that this property wouldn't have shown up with the other ones at the 2550? Was there something wrong with that lease?
I think because those considered as the local business and they pay $25.50. Actually, I don't know about why it's coming up. It is questionable to me too, but when I did generate the number $25.50 came up, but I don't receive any more further information from this appeal, then I don't know about the licensing agreement or any details.
Yeah, it just seems like the model seems to have chosen the lowest denominator on your list, but we don't have this rent in there, which was lower at 20. 50.
Oh, because I cannot use the subject lease as the comparable lease.
So what's wrong with the subject lease?
Subject lease is $25.50.
Yeah, what's wrong with it that we couldn't use it?
You mean the why I am not using as a model?
Right.
We don't use the model driven. We don't use the override rental rates at all for this year. For any of the regional shopping center, we use model driven market rents. Only.
Could there be a reason why the rent is $25.50 and not 33, such as the other one?
I don't know.
I guess we'll have to ask the applicant that. The model never takes that into account, though, does it?
I did not hear it.
Special circumstances.
I did not hear full sentence.
Special circumstances are not taken into account by your model, correct?
No, because it is not the one by one pick and choose thing. It's a model driven. This is the $25.50 of the lower spectrum of the rent.
If I look at your rents you have there, the 1225, the last one at 8214, that's 3,054 square feet at 3326, correct?
Yes.
And it's usually the larger the property, the lower the rental value, correct?
Yes, if you consider only that factor. If you single out factor only.
But the model's not taking it into account here, is it?
No, I think we need to see the bigger picture. We cannot nitpick the reason if it is not just for the size factor consider the model. Model considers so many other factors too, because we try to single out the size factor only. If we single out only the size factor, you are right, but we cannot do that.
Okay, so let's go to your very first one. That one was signed in 2017 and it's a 5-year, so that's okay. But let's go to 2014 on your third one, 5-year. So that would be expiring now, wouldn't it?
Yes, that's true. But you try to find out the
next one on the
yes, our model is not picking the one rent one by one. It's the statistical model. It's analyzed statistically. It generates the rents because we cannot pick and choose for anything.
And what year are we using for our averaging right now?
We don't use the average.
No, what year for the appeal? What year are we going back to for the rents? April 1st, 2021.
2021. But we don't have that newer leases to bring it here. We don't have those ones.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So where are they? Because some of them would be new by now. Why wouldn't you have brought the other ones forward that should be in that building now? Could they have dropped? Oh, we're not aware of that then.
No. It's not the reason. Because some leases are old. Within the 2021 year, St. Vital Mall does not sign new leases, not sign lots of new leases. We don't have those information. They are not reported information. When going forward, I'm presenting some other St. Vital Mall cases too. Then you will see they haven't reported any rental rates for those units because those were not occupied at that time. Because
I'm good with my questions. I'll move on. We'll hear the presentation. Sir, I've got to ask you your name.
Yeah,
I missed it.
Jim Accordingly. Jim?
Yeah. Accordingly. Go ahead, Jim. Make your presentation.
Sure. So we've been in St. Vital Center since 2016, and this is our third appeal of assessment. We've had to go through this process over and over. The last time it was assessed at 184.5. and was revalued to $108,000. So largely what I think has happened is there's an idealistic view of what the rents in the mall should be if things were operating the way they used to. But the reality is that there are still vacancies in the mall today. And there have been basically when we came in 2016, we came in when the large chains started to drop off. And in fact, the store that we're located in is what was formerly the Gap when they shut down part of their operations in Canada and consolidated to just having one store in Winnipeg. So, you know, the rents that are being obtained are not what would be ideal. So in March of 2021, we renegotiated our agreement, and our agreement started April 1st, 2021, which is the period that we're using as comparative. And for the year following, we paid $102,100 in rent. That was our full rent that we were responsible for that location. So that's representative really of what the market was able to get for that location. You know, and like I said, there are still vacancies within the mall, and you know, as much as the landlords would like it to be different, it's not. And you know, that's the reality of the market at this point. And if the rents were in fact at the value that the assessors have given it, we wouldn't be in that location. We couldn't afford that. You know, through this, you know, COVID is definitely part of it. But there were a large number of U.S. chains that went out of business in succession, and it's still happening right now, which creates more and more retail space, and it really changes the value of the properties. So, you know, for us, the St. Vital Mall is great. It works very well for us, but it's at the value that we're paying the rent, not the value that's been assessed. I think that's probably all I need to say.
Marina, any questions?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Can I know how much do you pay as rental rate? Monthly?
We are on a percentage rent only basis.
You don't pay any amount for monthly basis?
No, we have a percentage rent gross. That's it.
Okay. How much percentage rent you pay for a month?
I'm sorry?
How much you pay as a percentage rent for a month, approximately?
9%.
It's a percent. It's just the percentage is 9%. But can you tell me about the dollar amount, if you can? It's approximate. I don't need the exact number.
Well, it would fluctuate month to month, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's why I'm asking approximately.
Well, it would vary from 3,000 to 29,000.
3,000 to 29,000 per month?
Yeah, because it's based on the sales in a month, and the sales vary, right? But for the annual, it's $102,100.
How much you pay for the annual?
$102,100.
Okay. That's only the percentage rent?
Yes.
Okay. How many months do you usually pay for every month you pay the percentage rent?
Yes.
Okay. That's all my question. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Marina. And Diane, any questions?
So the annual rent of $102,100, what year was that for?
That was from the period of April 21st to March 22nd, or 22. April 2021 to March 22. Basically, the year starting the date that we're looking at the appraisal.
And is that kind of your annual rate for the past years prior to that as well?
It's been similar to that, yes. Prior to that was a little bit higher. It was actually about 108,000, but it was adjusted because of the impact of COVID and the reduction of traffic in the malls.
Okay. And you're not disagreeing in here about the occupancy costs then, correct?
We have no occupancy costs. We only pay, like our cost is fully $102,100.
So you don't pay any rent, you don't pay any electrical or anything else?
That is
bill or air conditioning or?
Absolutely not. That is completely gross, covers all expenses.
Okay.
The only additional fee that we pay to the mall is $150 a month for a promotional fund, which is not
like a marketing, you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Gary, any questions?
Yes, Mr. Cordingley, just wanted to clarify. You said your percentage of the rent gross you're paying is 9%?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Do you happen to know what the vacancy in the mall is percentage-wise over the past year?
Right now, I'm not sure where it is. I know it was about 14 or 15%, something like that. But, and again, if we're looking at 2021, I couldn't tell you exactly what the vacancy was at that point. There's certainly where we're located. I think there's 4 or 5 empty spaces just in our little wing right now. So.
All right, I thank you. That's all my questions, Mr. Chair.
So at what point do you, the 9% covers the total sales for your gross sales for the year, correct?
That's correct, yes.
So is there an adjustment in the last year at the end of the year if they're greater than you're expecting?
No, there's not.
So that you just locked it in at 102 for 2 years?
That was a 1-year deal. We have a new deal this year, just starting right now, actually.
And that's post, so I don't want to hear about that one. But, well, the 102 is, how do you get that out of the 9%? Is that out of your total gross sales from the year before?
That's correct, yes. Yeah.
And you've already said it includes all your costs except for the $150 a month for marketing, correct?
That's right, yes.
Okay. I've got no further questions. Marina, anything in summation?
No, thank you, Mr. Chair.
I just have one further question, if that's okay.
Sure, Diane.
What value are you asking, Mr. Cordingley?
I'm asking that the value be reduced to the rent paid.
102, 100.
102?
Yes.
100.
Okay, thank you.
Jim, did you have anything you wanted to put in the end?
No, I don't think so. I just, as we've gone through these appeals before, I wish the appraisals would be more accurate to represent what's actually happening in the marketplace. And I hope the board sees that that's what we're looking for.
Thank you, Jim, and you'll be hearing from us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
That matter. We're moving on to item number 6.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair. Is it possible
Yes.
to take a 5-minute recess?
Sure is.
Okay, thank you.
Sally, put us into recess before you call anybody back in, will you, please? Call the meeting back to order. Where the appellant in, please.
Mr. Swear, please state your full name. You'll have to unmute.
Thank you. Paul Swear.
Do you affirm that the evidence you are about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Marina,
Chair.
when you're
Thank
ready.
File number 22 3989, roll year 2023, address Unit 10, 1225 St. Mary's Road, business assessment ID 5659, business name Jaffe Riders. Business unit size 2,312 square feet. Annual rental value, base rent is $49.55 plus occupancy cost. We have used to calculate the annual rental value. Annual rental value is $120,360. We don't have any lease information for this property. As reported in, this occupant started in January 31st, 2020, as reported, but we don't have received any lease information from owner for this unit. My comparables are within the St. Vital Mall. Everything stayed in $33 to $55 per square feet. No, the $29 to $55 per square foot rental rate range. Approximate 2,000 square feet units were assessed at around $50 per square feet. You can see range from $50 to $57. Approximately that range is the range for the St. Vital Mall. But this particular unit, we use $49.55. I'm asking to confirm annual rental value at $120,360. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Paul, do you have any questions?
I do have one. I'd first like to thank you for your time. I know you guys have gone through many of these, and I'm sure it gets to be a little bit of a rolling cushion, but I do appreciate your time, board and assessor. The one question I do have that the assessor did allude to slightly, does the assessor have history going back to when the last permanent tenant was in the space that we're located in?
Can you repeat the question? It's sometimes not clear the question, Tony.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch it.
She'd like you to repeat the question.
Yeah, can you please repeat the question a little bit slower, please?
Do you have the last time, the information for the last time a permanent tenant was in our location?
No, I don't have in front of me. I checked the rent roll receipt sent for the recent rent roll. It did not report any rents for that particular unit.
Okay. I think I'm ready for presentation when the board is.
Okay, we've got some questions yet. Carrie, any questions?
Yes, Ms. Tenawera, this is all model driven, correct?
Yes.
Yes, and no inspection?
Not for this. I did not inspect any of the BA units because we inspect the St. Vital Mall, but we don't inspect the unit by unit for the business assessment ad hoc for the St. Vital Mall.
All right, I thank you. And all your comparables, I'm just looking through, are all located in the mall, correct?
It's all located in the mall. None of them are very recent leases because we don't have a very brand new leases. Leases are older, but within the St. Vital Mall.
All right, I thank you. That's all my questions, Mr. Chair.
Diane?
I have no questions. Thank you.
Marina, there seems to be one missing that was in the previous one. That was that last one on the last one, was 33 something, and that was a 2018 lease. Why would it not be here?
I think it's in the other page. I did not compare the comparables like that. You were talking about the very last one, 2018 one. It is in the other page. Other side of the page, flip the page, you will see 2018 leases are there.
The other side of the page?
Yeah.
Marina, he's asking if the last property we did, why is not the lease for unit 3A on there? Is that correct?
That's what I'm asking, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because this property size is 2,312. My focus goes to find the comparables that range of the unit, because last property the size is the 4,941. My focus goes to find the comparables match with that size factor. We can compare for the other unit, other briefs to this brief. This brief tailored paint for this property, this business. Range of my focus is 2,000 range of the size. That's why you can see that comparables in this brief.
Okay, so looking at your map, your site map, where would his unit be in this site map?
Unit number 10, if you're looking at the Hudson Bay corridor, you can see that unit 10 is there.
Right next to number 9, right?
9 is blackout is the other one. 9, 10, 11, 12.
What's the rent on 9?
It's a good question. They did not report for the 9 rental rates because at that time it was vacant.
So that number 9 still vacant. Well, anyway.
Number 9 is not vacant right now, but it was vacant at the time they send their income expenses mailer to us.
How about number 12?
Number 12. Give me 1 second if I have it here. No, I don't know about the number 12.
Because they're very close to each other. They have the same influences. Is there anything else in that corner that would have the same influence as that?
We cannot see the like that for the St. Vital's shopping center leases, because some leases has a special consideration, like they pay only percentage rents, they only pay the gross amount of rent, they don't pay, they have so many different agreements with the owner. Then if there is any special agreement with the owner, we don't consider those ones as the net leases. Even though those are adjacent unit, we cannot consider those ones. That's why it's not in my might not be in the comparable list. I don't go that way. I just run the rental rates to find what are the 2,000 around square feet size units in the St. Vital. What are the rental rates for those ones?
Okay, but market values go up and down at times when there's issues within a mall of vacancies, and sometimes they have to make special short-term arrangements to be able to at least get something out of the unit. Why? And that does that not create?
We don't consider that short-term arrangement as a market rental rates. If we consider those short-time special cases as the market rates, it is very difficult. We don't consider those ones. Anyone, if you have this kind of special arrangements, they can come to the Board of Revision. I don't know. We only consider net rents, market rent. We can still consider as a net rent. It might change in the future if the market goes different way. This cycle, consider net rents.
My problem with it is some of these short-term contracts have been going for 2 years already, and some are going on 3 years. And yet you don't take them into consideration, but that's what they've been using for the past 2 and 3 years. We call them short-term, but they've been short-term at that special rate.
I think, I want to tell you this way, because you might see the Board of Revision time, you might see lots of cases come as those people come and tell about the short-term market rates, because they appeal it, because they see they pay different rental rates, they appeal it. But when you consider about the entire Polo Park, entire outlet mall, entire St. Vital shopping center, how many units are they actually paying net rental rates? Because it's a majority, right? If you I understand most of the people is sitting on this room. They all has a special agreement with the owners. That's why they are here. We can offer the rental rates as they agree with the owner special deal. That's why we don't make any recommendation for those ones. That's why I'm here to present the case using the market rents. That's I really want to tell you to explain this one, why we are here for the market rental rates. I totally understand. They pay lower rental rates. It's a special business agreement with the owner. That's not the market rental rates.
But the taxation is due on what the rental rate is for that period of time, is it not?
But it is the outlier. We are not focusing on outlier. We have to focus on the majority. If you only focus on the outlier of low end and outlier of high end, we cannot consider outliers. That's why we are here. That's why I'm presenting these ones. Otherwise, I would make a recommendation.
Okay. I'll leave it at that, Marina. We usually see eye to eye, you and I. On with your presentation, Paul.
Thank you again. I think that, it's funny. I never realized when I looked at the docket how many in our area of the mall is actually presenting today. I'm sure that's by design. But I've never met Mr. Cordingley before, but I think he raised quite a few points that I might be possibly repeating. There are a number of vacant units in our end of the mall. If anyone frequents the mall, they would be able to see that. We have been in the mall almost exactly a year now, come approximately a week. We have been utilizing the space given us. However, most of the space that we are renting out, or I should say a large portion of the space we're renting out, is extra space. If the assessor or anyone were to go into our store, they would see that we're effectively using half the space that we are renting. The back space is pretty much storage, and 99% of the time there aren't any customers in the back of the space. The assessed value, I did some research, and the last time a permanent tenant was in our location was May of 2017, almost 6 years ago. They've had the odd temporary term tenant since then, but the vacancy before we arrived, I don't even know how long it had been. The actual rent we're paying, and doing the math, is approximately 28.6% the value of the ARV that we have been assessed on our units. So substantially less, not even in the ballpark to what the current assessed value has been. That also being said, the occupancy, let me get the terminology right. The occupancy costs, similar to Mr. Cordingley, we do not pay heat, electricity, water, or air conditioning. That is part of our gross rent. We do pay the promotional fee. All in, we are paying approximately $27.30 a month to the mall for the space. If we meet a specific threshold of 15% of sales, we pay above and beyond that amount. However, we've only met that threshold once in these past 12 months.
Is that it?
Yeah, I would humbly request that our ARV be matched according to what our actual value of rent paid is, which would be $14.17 per square foot, which is in actuality what we are paying for the property, but not in reality.
You're paying $14.17 per square foot for a total of?
For an annual total of, let me just get it up, give you the exact figure, $32,760, give or take approximately $500, because we had that 1 month where we met that 15% threshold. So rounded up to about 33,000. That is pretty close.
Okay.
We did submit some evidence. I don't know if it's of any any use to the committee, but it does show how much vacant space we are in the property and how we do have, in fact, fence area off from the customers, as well as the back storage area, much more than we need. We did just recently get a new lease proposal that I just submitted last week, effectively matching identical to what we've paid this past year. So no changes that way. Yeah.
Marina, any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As your brief submitted, it has the storage unit or storage space in the one photograph. You don't use that storage at all?
No, so the very back storage with the rolling shelves, we do use part of it, but I think we try to take a picture showing how much storage is there that isn't necessary for our use.
Okay. But it is kind of throwing spaces for your unit as for the mall, right? It's including your this area, but you don't use that space at all.
It's included in our rental area, but the non-storage area, the back portion of the storefront of the mall is seldom used or largely unused because it's just open space.
Okay. And you answer my question, how often you pay the percentage rent?
So we have a base amount that I gave you the rate of, but then we also have the percentage rent. If we meet a certain threshold on monthly sales, we pay above and beyond the base rent. But as mentioned, we've only met that threshold one time in our 11 and a half months of operation approximately. We'd love to use the back portion of the store if we could, but it's just so much space and we just don't get a lot of birthday parties or anything in. So we just had it sealed off since the beginning.
That's all my question. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Harry, questions?
Yes, just a couple. Mr. Is it Swear?
Yeah.
Mr. Swear, I'm going to assume that month that you hit your 15% threshold, was that December?
Yes, that was the December period.
Okay. And I'm just going to ask, what is Stuffy Riders? What is your product?
Oh, we run these plush motorized animals that are for all ages, and they, in our setting in the mall, they're for riding around in the mall, and yeah, they bring joy to really all ages. We've had cancer survivors come in their old age to celebrate, and we've got young children who come in to just enjoy their time at the mall.
Okay, I thank you.
The pink unicorn is the pink unicorn is our most popular.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
I thank you, Mr. Chair. That's all my questions.
Diane, do you have any questions? Diane?
I have no questions. Thank you.
Okay. Paul?
Yeah.
That one picture you got here, it's everything behind the wall that you're not using this way too?
So everything behind the wall. Sorry, I just want to pull it up to make sure I'm looking at the same picture you are.
Looking at the steel cage to the mall.
This is going from the back to the front of the store. Is that what we're looking at?
Yeah, back to the front.
Yeah, so that area is vacant. To the left, we have some tables for if and or when we ever might have a birthday party. We've had one all year. So we basically just use more or less half the store. Sometimes we put stuffies in the back just for space, but as you can see, there's tons of space that we're not using 99% of the time.
Okay.
Yeah. I had my manager do like the square footage of the store, including the storage area is 20 through 12, as the assessor mentioned, but our customer front part of the store is really about 1,005 square feet that we're normally using for our customers. So
Okay, anything in summation, Marina?
No, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Paul, anything in summation?
No, I just thank you for your consideration.
And thank you for having little fluffies around. Number 7. That'll conclude that matter. We'll pull up number 7 in a second here.
Oh, there's a docket on the door.
I almost went out to jail.
I'm still trying to get up number 7.
May I affirm the applicant?
Yes, you may.
Thank you. Please state your full name.
Julie Squires.
Do you affirm that the evidence you are about to give at this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Marina, when you are ready on unit number 11, it is, eh?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. File number 22-3988, alien, 2023, address, Unit 11, 1225 St. Mary's Road, Business Assessment ID 56371, business name, Diva Press. Unit size is 1,841. We use $50.34 plus occupancy cost to calculate annual rental value. Current annual rental value is 97,260. This unit was vacant the time we received income expenses mailer. They haven't reported any trends for this unit for us. All the comparables are within the 2,000 square feet range of rental rates. Those all net trends are paying. Trends vary from $47 to 55 cents in this page. Lease started in 2017, 2016, majority everything. I'm asking to confirm the annual rental value as. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Any questions, Julie, of the assessor?
Well, I have a question that you've probably already answered because I've been listening to all of them. But there's nothing more recent than 2018 for leases, and I know the answer is no. But have you reached out to St. Vital to ask?
Because they send every year 2021, every year income expenses mailer, reporting expenses mailer. They have reported some 2021 rental rates, but those are not included in those kind of briefs because of the size factor. The example like a Marshall, I cannot compare the Marshall leases to these ones. Marshall is
of course,
really,
yes,
really big
of course.
one. Those kind of things happen because those are the rental rates are older. The smaller units were leased out so either long ago. Those are carried forward for the time being. And most of the newer leases has a special agreements with the leaser. We cannot consider those ones as the comparables because of the nature of the special agreements. They only pay percentage rent or they only pay amount as agreed, gross rent or something. That's why they are not.
So there are no current remotely close. There are no new leases signed remotely close to my size and square feet.
Yes, and those some licensing agreement could be, but licensing agreement we don't consider as the new lease. That's why it's not here.
Okay, I'm good.
Carrie, questions? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Marina, questions? Oh, no, Marina, that's who the question was to. Carrie, question. I'll get there yet.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ms. Tenawera, your brief is model driven, correct?
Yes.
Thank you. And just to save time, the next 3 items on the docket, they're also all going to be model driven, correct?
All model driven. My briefs are model driven. All the rental rates are model driven rental rates except the comparables. Comparables are net, model driven but net trends.
Bless you.
All right, I thank you. That's all my questions.
Diane?
I have no questions. Thank you.
And I've got no questions. I think I've done myself out on those. On with your presentation, please, Julie.
Okay. My parking meter is literally right now, so I'm just gonna, it wouldn't let me do it ahead of time. So I just don't want to get a ticket and have to appeal that too. Okay, so I did just ask you a question, so I'm gonna add this to my evidence, I guess. No new leases with my square footage in that mall that you would characterize as a new lease, I think speaks even more to what the market is like right now. If there literally are no new leases, then specialty leases are the new leases, except for those very large units. But okay, so the actual rent I included that I paid for this period of 2021, so I took the whole year. It was percentage based. It was an extension of a lease I went in during COVID, which was percentage based. And that continued all the way through until I just signed a new lease that started February 1st of this year. So I paid this percentage in 2021 and also in 2022. I was also assessed. I just went through this appeal process, I don't know, last spring. And the assessment was very similar, and I did appeal it, and both 2021 and 2022, which were based on 2018, I did get it reduced to just over 42,300. Now, more recently, the unit across from me was just came to the, I don't know if I can use this, they just appealed a few months ago, and they are literally the same square footage as I am within, I don't know, 50 square feet, I think, or no less than that, sorry, within 15 square feet. And their assessment, while it was similar to mine, is just reassessed now to 32,580. My assessment again right now, 97,260. We are across the aisle from each other. I also did use Kite for my assessment from last time because their cost per square foot was significantly less. They are a little bit bigger than me, but I think what I think is fair to ask for is the actual rent that I had paid, which if you look at item number 2 or not number 1 that I sent, statement of account, I have to take out the 5% for GST, so 17,393. If I wasn't in that unit, I definitely believe no one else would have been. The vacancy as of April 2021 was at 13.8%, which equates to approximately 170,000 square feet of property or 24 units. I think that's all.
Marina, do you have any questions?
Yes, Mr. Chair, thank you. Do you pay any rent other than percentage? You only
In this period of time, only percentage.
Before that, did you pay any?
Always. Like I said, I just re-signed a new lease that was effective February 2023, which is not the assessed year we're in.
Okay.
We're in 2021, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to use 2021 numbers for 2018 assessments. So I do have a base rent, but actually, honestly, my new lease, they just followed my last year's. Okay.
New one, but I asked him.
It was percentage only.
Percentage on.
Only.
No any other.
Only. GST, that's all.
GST, that's all.
Percentage only. It was 15% though, so it was higher than some of the other appeals today, but 15% of my gross sales.
That's all my questions. Thank you.
Diane, questions?
What value are you asking for?
I'm sorry?
What value are you asking for?
I guess what I'm asking for is what I paid, which was what they could get, which was 17,400.
Okay, thank you.
Carrie?
I have no questions. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Anything in summation, Marina?
No, thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm good, thank you.
Julie, anything in summation?
No, that was
In
very
conclusion.
fast. I'm concerned there was no questions, but no, that was
I didn't want you parking.
yeah. Well, it's paid now. Good. I should also mention maybe that I'm right beside the lease that was just happened and just down the road from the Kite and Caboodle that was half hour or so ago. So
I saw you on the map.
okay.
Okay, that'll conclude the matter. We are going to move on to item number 8. When you have them in, you can swear them in. Okay, Sally?
You got it.
I'll be ahead of you this time.
Please state your full name. We will affirm that the evidence you are about to give at this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Thank you. Please state your full name.
JAEHO.
Do you affirm that the evidence you are about to give at this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Ready when you are, Mr. Chair.
Marina, when you're ready.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. File number 22-3994, toll year 2023, address 711 K 1225 St. Mary's Road, business assessment ID 41579, business name Gateway Newsstand number 307. This is the kiosk located in the St. Vital Mall. Unit size is 200 square feet bigger unit. We use annual rental value. We used $342.97 per square foot rate to calculate annual rental value. Final annual rental value is $69,120. There are no reported rents for this one from owner. All the comparables are kiosks, size 150 square feet to $200 square feet unit size. You can see variation of rental rates, 520 to 250. 250 lease is older lease. I found the newer lease, but I'm not going to present that one. Even though it's it's not the post reference, but I know my error here. The 250 is the lowest rental rates we have in my comparables. Based on this information, I'm asking to confirm the annual rental value of $69,120. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Marina. Do you have any questions of the assessor?
감사하신 분에게 질문인데. Of course. This 이 번호별로 요거하고 요거하고 이게 같은 입니다. 그 위생비탈몰은 법정에 따라서 무료가 정해진다. 우리 같이 $1짜리 스토어에 팔고 그냥 뭐 롯데에 팔고 그러면 이렇게 높이면은 안 되기는 제일 낮은 임대료를 받는 내용입니다. 그런데 너는 지금 이거를 이 두 개를 내가 비교했는데 너희 이게 경상도냐?
Hello. So do you aware that the 709K and 708K is within the same category and has the same type of business? Is there a particular reason that the amount of reported rent is so different compared to two?
Actually, after you mentioned those ones in your brief, I go and check what's in the 704K and 715K units.
Okay.
Those are both the Ontario Limited numbered company. In our information, they pay $533 per square feet, and the other one pays $666 per square feet. They pay higher rental rates, but their unit is smaller. And both are one is the bill unit. The other one also, I think, because it's a national chain, they agreed with the higher rental rates, but the other one is the smaller.
Yes, but what about the 709K and 708K?
709K and 709. Do I have a 709? Yes, 709. 709. Actually, right now there's the Glendale Inc. is the newer lease. It's started in 2021. They pay actually $444, not $250. This is $250, the previous one. When I run the briefs, I get the previous one. When you ask the specific question, I go and check today before I come here. Then I found they actually pay higher rental rates.
근데 715K는 우리가 물어봤었잖아. 633을 지금 물고 있고, 이거는 지금 704면 933.3땅이 맞았고, 요거는 옛날 수치였고, 지금 확인해 본 걸 새로 들어왔고, 새로 입주한 사람으로서 448을 내고 있거든요. 우리보다 더 많이 내고 있습니다.
그런데 임대료는 우리가 제일 싸고, 우리가 내를 임대료가 잘못했다. 실제 금액이 얼마인지 아느냐. 우리보다 더블로 임대료가 더 많아. 업종에 우리가 $1 가지고 저기 임대를 못 내고 최하 임대료다. 응? 아니 그냥 이게 임대료가 이게 같은 거 아니야? 이게 우리보다 작은 데도 없잖아.
So those businesses are actually like a type of a telephone booth. So their profit is much higher than compared to us. And the same with our mall is based on the type of business, and they value those based on that. And as us, we sell like chocolates, candies, and which is always profit to be considered. So that's why our rental, the actual rental, is at the lowest. So we see upon here the 533. That seems very irrational because what they actually pay as a rental is about twice higher than us in the actual amount.
Okay.
So these 그런데 이제 임대료가 적은 거고 우리보다 임대료가 높다. 그런 게 아까 내가 지금 다른 업체 보니까 704 704를 같은 경우는 내가 걔네들 매니저하고 얘기를 했는데 그 사람들은 저기 5만 1,000 됐다고 그랬다. 5만 2천. 근데 거기 임대료가 우리보다 배나 비싸구나. 그럼 어떻게 너 설명을 해야 되냐?
So could you explain, upon checking with our general manager, the 704K, their assessment value came out at 52,000, but the actual amount of the rental pay is twice higher. Could you explain what would that be?
That's actually really hard to me to explain because it's one thing I cannot speak to someone else's property here. I cannot do that. And I really don't know why they might go to the board of operation, then they get the rent decrease, rental value decrease. That might be the reason. Because I cannot answer those kind of questions very in here. I don't know. We don't do the assessment comparison. We don't know but I think the best thing, you can tell your story to board operation board. They can make a decision. You can do the presentation if you don't have any questions from me.
이 사람한테 물어볼 수 있는 게 아니고요. 자기는 그 비교를 할 수가 없대. 다른 쪽에 대한 정보를 가질 수가 없기 때문에 이따가 증거자료 저쪽에다 제출할 때 그때 요거를 어필을 하시고요. 얘한테는 더 이상 물어볼 수 없는 것 같아요. 이거는. 왜냐면 이 사람이 비교를 해서 할 수 있는 게 아니기 때문에 다른 그 쪽에 외부에서 그런데 일단 그럼 이 사람한테는 저희 우리 질문 있는 거지.
이 사람한테는 얘기 듣는 것 같아요.
그럼 저부터 that will be all for the question. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Carrie, question?
Yes, Ms. Tenawera, do you know where this kiosk is located within the mall?
You mean the exact location? No, I don't.
Yes.
No, I don't know. I don't have a map and I don't know.
All right, I thank you. Also, and this may have been answered, but I'm having some difficulty hearing. The other rent comparables you have, are those also kiosks, correct?
Those are actually, most of the kiosks are mobile telephone bill type telephone kiosks. You know the main corridor telephone booth.
Oh, okay. So you're saying they're telephone kiosks?
Yes. I know my first rent comparable. Second rent comparable is last comparable is Rogers. Those are mostly those type of kiosks.
Oh, okay. So none of these kiosks.
Yeah, telephone.
Sorry.
Those kind of kiosks. Those are the kiosks.
Okay, so none of these kiosks then are operating a similar business to the subject, correct?
This subject, actually, they are newspaper and chocolate and those kind of stand. This is the same type of kiosk, but they do sell different things than the other kiosk does.
Right. All right. I thank you. That's all my questions. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Diane.
So the rental rates for a kiosk for a Rogers per se, as opposed to a newsstand, would they still be the same, or would one have a different rate based on the business?
I think Bell and Rogers pay very similar rental rates. $533.33 per square feet. That's the range for those telephone company pay. It's higher than $500 per square feet.
Okay, thanks.
No further questions?
No, I'm good, thanks.
How many of these kiosks sell lotteries in the mall?
모레 를 파는 키오스크가
For Marina.
Don't know. How many kiosks sell the lotteries in the mall? I don't know.
You don't know how many sell lotteries?
No, I don't know.
Okay. And I've got some questions for them after they present. So that'll be it for that. And we'll move on to your presentation, sir.
아빠가 얘기하실 거래요. 어떤 걸 얘기하면 제가
이 조사는 굉장히 불확실하고 정확하지 않다. 이거 해야 된다. 왜냐면 우리가 확인한 거는 항상 그 대표이사가 와서 더블 이상이다. 그래서 그 사람들이 생각들 높다고 우리는 싸고, 이거 돈을 150, 이게 높잖아요. 근데 이게 금액이 잘못됐다는 거하고, 그 다음에 이제 또 그 공과금까지, 이거 했다는 거는 말도 안 되는 소리다. 그런 회계가 어딨냐. 이거는 렌탈이고 이거는 이거에 같이 받는 것뿐이지. 응? 왜 이렇게 구분해서 이거 바꾸지? 렌탈 금액이 기본 베이스 렌탈 이거는 아니다. 이거는 불합리하다. 그리고 지금 이게 정부 지원을 코비드는 무사히 넘겼는데 지금 회복이 안 되고 이익이 안 나오고 있다. 우리가 우리 말고 또 보세요. 런던 들어보에서 모터리가 또 있다. 또 만약에 여기 모터리가 보인다면은 둘 다 불가능하다. 이건데 인데 모터리가 하나 빠져 있었는데 이걸 살았다. 벌써 한 5년 전에. 그리고 런던도 생기고 이게 우리가 하는 내가 여기서 12년 동안 하고 내가 스스로 여기 찾아와서 이 세금 내는 뭐 다른 소기업에 대해 세금 분야에서 노세인데 그전 사람은 내지도 않았다. 이건 내가 자발적으로 했는데 근데 이게 다른 데 내가 임대료는 안 낸다. 세금은 안 낸다고 그러는 거의 세금은 안 낸다고 하고 이건 지금 평수가 우리보다 작은 데가 우리보다 문제를 많이 냈는데 배 이상 많이 냈네요. 그 탕바를 갖다가 우리를 놓게 했다. 이건 뭐가 근본적으로 고쳐야 될 것 같아요.
Yes, thank you for being very patient and thank you for accepting us to present this today. We believe that the reported rent shown here is very irrational because upon checking on our research, we believe that other people pay twice higher at least for a rental, the actual rental amount, because they basically calculate that rental values based on the items in St. Vital Mall. And we are the one who sells chocolate, candies, beverages, which is at the lowest profit compared to those telephone booths. They sell cell phones, new cell phones, and they will get much higher amount of profit. So we believe that this is very rational, and we feel that this is not very fair for to get this such high rental values. Another thing is that upon checking in here, they calculated the utility charges included for these annual rental values. But we also believe this is also irrational because we believe that we should only be calculated through the base rent, and we should not include all those type of expenses and the utility charges. And another thing is that we've been working here since almost 12 years now. Before us, the previous owner told us that they never paid the tax. But we voluntarily visited here in person to report all those documents, and we started the filing the taxation. And upon checking in the other mall tenant who has a similar types of business, they are saying that they do not pay any business tax. They never received a statement asking them to pay the business tax. We are voluntarily paying the business tax, and we believe that this is a very high amount for us, and it feels very small for us. We received the COVID subsidy amount from the government back in 2022. That amount was $13,000. And even with that subsidy amount, we are at the risk of closing down the store because our loss of income, like the loss of the profit, is almost $30,000 just for 2022. So please consider those type of situation, and thank you for listening to our presentation, sir. Thank you.
Marina, do you have any questions?
Yeah, only one question. How much do you pay as a rent for this one?
Do you mean by monthly?
Monthly.
매달 렌트를 얼마 내세요, 실제로?
실제 포함해서 5월 5월 5, 7,
$5,759, including other charges.
나도 차지까지 다 해요.
Yes, and just for the base rent, it will be $4,666.67. But including utility and others, that will be $5,759.
$5,759 per month.
Per month. 이거 이렇게 매달. Yes, ma'am.
That's all my question, Mr. Chair.
Diane, questions?
So, yeah, so you pay rent of 5,500 or 55,000, almost $56,000 a year. Is that correct?
렌트비로 5,600불 가량 내는 게 맞아요, 매달? 렌트비로?
렌트비는 이걸 내고 이건 또 나중에 또 정산해서 또 정산이 된다 나중에.
렌트비로 내는 거는 아니야, 그러면?
렌트비로 내는 요거지, 요거 베이스.
If we only consider the rent, that will be the base rent amount, which will be $4,666.67.
So per month,
Per month.
which would be about $55,000 per year, correct?
55,000불 정도 될까요? 이거를 이게 연간으로 계산한다면. 연간으로 계산한 걸 때. 그렇다고 봐야겠죠? Yes, that will be yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then you pay utilities of approximately $1,100 a month on top of that, correct?
그러면 이제 다른 비용으로 11,000불 같은 게 추가가 되는 거 맞아요? 1년으로.
이거지.
맞아요?
이거 이게 무슨 이게 저 마케팅 폰도 이렇게 그런 것들은 그 렌트비가 아니고.
Yes, ma'am, but it's not only utility, it will also include things like a promotional fees as well.
Okay. So what value are you asking for today?
오늘 어떤 금액을 원하세요, 아빠는? 아빠한테 나왔으면 하는 금액이.
우선 이 금액은 돼야 될 것 같고 이게 요거 기본으로 해야 될 것 같고 문제는 우리부터 렌트비를 2배를 내는 키오스키들이다 이게. 뭐 이거 사장한테도 하게 하고. 그런데 이게 지금 실제로 평가받은 거는
우리가 원하는 금액이 얼마예요, 전체 금액은?
근데 원하는 건 이게 지금 우리가 임대를 더 많은 내는 데가 52,000불로 평가받은 데가 있다. 이 704가 그 얘기를 해봐. 54,000불.
그거보다 적었으면 좋겠다.
그렇지, 당연히 그래. 54,000불 평가받은 52,000불 평가받은 데가 있어.
There is a kiosk that valued at $52,000, and we believe that we should be valued lower than that.
704.
But you don't have an exact value you're asking for?
정확한 금액 없으세요? 원하는 금액 정확하게 얘기할 수 있는 금액 뭐예요? 5만 불이다, 46,000불이다 얘기해 주세요. 합리적으로. 우리가 원하는 게 52,000불이야?
이거보다는 적어야 되니까.
근데 정확한 금액을 말해야 돼. 뭘로요? 그냥 모른다 그래? 우리 없다 그래? 금액? 우리가 원하는 금액이 뭐예요?
우리는 이거보다 너무 차이가 나니까.
근데 우리가 원하는 금액이 뭐예요? 지금 우리가 요구하는 금액 얼마였으면 좋겠어요? 이거 대신에 얼마가 나왔으면 좋겠어요?
우리는 우리 업종에 수소가
근데
가서
금액을 얘기 안 할 거예요? 얘기하려고 해요.
3만 불로 했으면 좋겠다.
너무 낮은데요, 아빠?
4만 불 얘기하고.
4만 불?
왜 그래요? 그렇게.
$40,000.
40? Okay.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
그란테이는 제가 우리보다 매출이 3배나.
Anything in summation, Marina?
No, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Anything in summation, gentlemen?
No, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Marcel, did you forget about me?
Did I hope not. Carrie, would you have a question?
I do not have a question, but thank you.
Now you're just getting even with me. Thank you, Madam Chair. Number 9. That'll conclude that matter for 8. Thank you very much. You'll be hearing from us.
Thank you.
Swear them in when you get them in state.
Your pen.
I don't think that was.
Oh, okay, thank you, thank you. Please state your full name. Do you affirm that the evidence you are about to give at this hearing will be the truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
Marina, when you are ready, on Sterling, Unit 10555.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. File number 22-3974, whole year 2023. Property address PK 565 Cherry Lane, Hartley. Business assessment ID 56246. Business name Swift Parts. This is the jewelry and I think watch repair and jewelry store located in the outlet shopping center. Premise area size is premise area is 200 square feet. We use $290.39 per square feet plus occupancy cost to value this to calculate annual rental value. Annual rental value, final annual rental value is 58,560. My comparables are within the outlet mall. All are kiosks. Kiosks vary from telephone booths to every sort of thing. You can see the rental rate. It's 695 is the highest I can see. 205 is the lowest rental rate paid in there. I'm asking to finalize the annual rental value as 58,560. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Any questions of the assessor?
Yeah, I was just wondering with the, I think you've mentioned this quite a number of times, just, you sent the comparables. And I was just wondering if you put into consideration the nature of the business or the kinds of business.
Honestly, no. It is very difficult. I know those kiosks are the jewelry repair shops and the telephone booths and small purses and those kind of things and seasonal ones. Seasonal ones we don't consider, that means only operate in the Christmas time only. But the other kiosks are located in those main corridors. We consider everything as the same way. No consideration for telephone booth or the repair, jewelry watch repair one.
Thank you. That'll be all.
Thank you. Carrie, would you have any questions?
I have no questions. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Carrie. Diane, do you have any questions?
I do not, thank you.
And I've got no questions. On with your presentation, sir.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. This is my first time here, and I wasn't very sure how this worked. When I first got the bill, I think it was in 2021. It was for the year 2020. I'm very sure what to do with it because it was my first time, and I had to, back and forth with the mall. And I got a second bill I have another location at St. Vital. It was when I got the second bill that I really understood, what this was about. And at the time I tried to, file for review, but I was told it was too late. So I had to wait for this year. And when I got the one for this year, I'm just looking at, what informed, the rent value, because it's in variance with what I actually paid. So what I submitted as my evidence before coming here today was my basic rent that I pay month to month. So I get to pay every month, and there is a percentage, but I don't even get to that at all. So I never want, even in December when it's the busiest time of the year, I never get to the percentage at all. It's a small kiosk, 200 square foot is where I'm occupying. It's just on the hallway, and I pay $3,250 a month plus tax, which amounts to $37,000, around $38,000, annual rent. And I feel like, having that against 58 is pretty much very high. So I'm just asking for a review of that rate and to see if it's going to be very similar to what I already have in the town, where I'm pretty much below the threshold, and the small business tax credit does apply to the kind of business that I do. That'll be it. Thank you.
Marina, any questions?
Actually, he answered my question. It seems he does not pay the percentage range. He presented that. That's my question was. He answered it.
Well, I do have the percentage rents on my agreement, but I just don't even get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Diane, questions?
So what value are you asking for here?
With the 37,800, which is what I paid.
Okay, thank you.
Carrie?
I have no questions. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Carrie. Your 37,800, that doesn't include the utilities, does it?
No. So, well, 37,800 plus tax would be somewhere else. Let me see here. It doesn't include. No, it's just
utilities, electricity, and your portion of the water.
No, I don't have the. No, so I just pay that as the base rent, and it's kind of different how they structure it. And I know I'm not here for Saint Vital, but Saint Vital gives the breakdown. The outlet doesn't give the breakdown, so they just lump that up all together. So I pay the 33,150 plus tax.
I've got it at closer to $41,580 that you paid.
That's correct.
Correct?
Correct, sir.
So if it's 41,580, why were you going for 37,800?
Oh, sorry, I didn't put into consideration the taxes. So yeah, it will be 41,000.
Okay, that was my question. So it was 41,580 you were aiming for, right?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. I've got no further questions. Anything in summation, Marina?
No, Mr. Chair. Thank you so much.
Anything in summation, sir?
Nothing. That'll be all for now. Thank you for your time, sir. And
thank you. That concludes that matter.
Thank you.
Item number 10.
Thank you.
They're ahead of me.
Please state your full name.
Brian Siebelat.
Do you affirm that the evidence you are about to give at this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Marina, when you are ready, we're on T7A 155 Regent Avenue.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. File number 224098, roll year 2023, property address T7A 1555 Regent Avenue, business assessment ID 40748, business name Booster Juice. This Booster Juice location has the 2 units. I think one is the storage, one is the kiosk. That's how we calculate for annual rental value. Storage unit, we use $29.96 per square feet rate to calculate 3,600 for the storage unit. And the Booster Juice kiosk, Booster Juice outlet, we have 216 square feet times $260.33 per square feet. We have 56,760. Altogether, total annual rental value is 60,360. There is a reported rents too in the bottom table. You can see storage rent reported as $40 per square feet and kiosk rent reported as $143 per square feet. Lease start in 2011, 10 months lease. Bottom table shows all the rent comparables within the KP, Kildonan Place, 1551 region. Everything in the food court, most of them are food court. One is T14A is out of the food court. Those are big, those are similar. It's not similar, it's little bigger units. They pay $169 to $375 range of rental rates. Based on those information, I'm asking to confirm the annual rental value as it has. Thank you.
Do you have any questions of the assessor before you make your presentation?
Have you visited the site?
Not for those ones, but I inspect all the regional shopping centers. At that time, I inspect the Kildonan Place shopping, but not particularly for this business assessment.
No further questions?
Nope. No, I don't think so.
Carrie, any questions?
I have no questions, thank you.
Diane, any questions?
No, sir.
Thank you. Let's go on with your presentation, sir.
Okay. Where to start? Well, we're not actually a kiosk. We're actually located within the regular confines of the mall location of like the stores. But we're a very small space, 216 square feet. It's an awkward triangular space. If I stand in the middle of the store, I can touch my front counter, my side counter, and my back counter without moving. And we're not actually in the food court. We're down the hall. We're across down the hall from the food court. From the food court, you cannot actually see my store front at all. The part of the mall where we are located will actually be demolished fairly soon. We're not sure of the date because the reconstruction of the mall has been delayed. But we only have 16 days left on our lease. I know they're looking at putting in a lease in the interim. I know the delays in the construction for the mall is because the sales and foot traffic are down 20 to 50% depending on the month that you're looking at. In the hallway that we're in, there's 9 units. There's only 3 of us that are open. And our actual rent that we pay, the annual per square foot is only $120, working out to $25,920. So it's quite a large difference from the evaluation. And yeah, I think that's most of it.
Okay. Marina, any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As reported, you pay $163 per square feet or $120?
$120.
$120.
Yeah.
That's what I get from here. $120.
Correct.
You pay extra rent for the storage unit.
Yes.
You have a storage. How much you pay for the storage?
I didn't print off that portion of it.
Okay, approximately you remember?
It ends up being it only adds up to like $100 or $200, give or take. Somewhere in that range.
$100 per month.
Per month, yes.
Per month.
Yeah, it's a very small space. Yeah.
And they listed this unit to be demolished when we demolished for the movie theater.
No, they're in between the movie theater and back of the mall. Okay. They're building they're moving the whole food court over there, but it's been delayed again because the sales in the food court are still very low. Okay. But the back 25% of the mall will be demolished at some point. Yeah.
That means at that time you will be relocated to another unit?
We don't know.
Okay.
Because like I said, we only have 16 days left on. And I know there was mention on, I heard from my head office on March 1st that a 1-year lease is being worked on. So.
Okay. No reason I asked because we are issuing a new, we are working on to issue the new supplemental. Then if you are moving out from here and relocating the different unit, we are issuing a supplemental. This one will be cancelled anyway. If it's happened, if it's smaller the unit, we will issue a new business tax. Okay?
Yeah.
That's this one will be cancelled only when it's issued because I know we will do it when it's demolished.
Yeah.
We are waiting until it's demolished to do the work.
Yes, I know from speaking with my head office that there's been no discussion on a spot for us in the new.
Okay,
Yeah.
but this location you pay $120.
$120, correct.
Okay. That's all my questions.
Thank you. Diane.
So looking at your rentals on your presentation there, pages, I don't know, it's 2, 3, 4 and 2, 3 and 4 maybe. You're showing the rental of $21.60 times 12 months, like you said, $25,920, and then you show your utilities, and that averages about $82 a month. Is that correct?
That's without adding. Okay, adding.
So what value are you asking for us today?
Including the utilities.
The kiosk, the storage, and the utilities together.
Oh, okay. Let's see. So it'd be about 28,000. I would believe, some give or take. I'd have to actually calculate it.
Okay. So 25,920 plus the 2,400 plus the 1,000 for the utilities, roughly 29,320. I come up with. And you're asking 28,000. Is that your answer?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Carrie, questions?
Yes, just one question, sir. How long have you been in the mall?
Since 2011, September, I believe.
Okay. Thank you. That's all my questions.
Oh, I do have one further question. Sorry.
Go ahead, Diane.
To the assessor, you were saying something. What were you saying to him? Because it kind of broke up there. If you could just speak right into your mic and give me the answer about if he's going to be relocated or if he's not going to be there anymore. Something about a supplemental. What were you saying?
Yes, because we're supposed to do some work on Kildonan Place because it's a new movie theater and it's going to be new work. And if the business move out from this location and it's relocated to different unit, we need to issue a supplemental annual rental value. We are issuing a sub. Then this is going to be totally changed at that time.
Okay.
That's what I want to know. If he know about the concrete there, which unit they are going to move into. And can I ask one question, Mr. Chair?
Mm-hmm. You go ahead.
Okay. Your storage unit, do you have water, air conditioner, electricity, and heat in the storage? Because
we have there is a heat and we have an air conditioning.
The storage unit too?
Yes.
Okay, no water.
No water.
Okay.
And we actually share that unit with. There's space. There's nobody in it right now, but it's actually shared space.
Okay. The storage unit is a shared space.
It's shared space.
Which one? With different business?
With a different business, correct.
Okay. That means, Mr. Chair, we probably need to issue a supplemental for him because if their storage space is shared with someone else, we probably need to remove them from the storage space. We probably need to issue a supplemental. I probably need to do that. Because you can see we have our storage unit is totally assessed under his name.
Mm-hmm.
The area on here says 110 square feet. That's approximately the right size for the space we use in the storage unit.
Okay. That means 110 is 110 unit square feet used only by you?
Only by us.
Okay, then it's bigger unit, it's 220 units. Size unit, it's a half of 110, that's what?
No, the whole thing is probably 250, I would say. We only use about 110.
Okay.
It's just a little square.
Then it's 110 square feet number is correct?
That sounds correct, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so sorry about that. So then no supplemental will need to be issued?
No, because it's correct.
I don't know 100%, but it could be, it could not be. Not 100%. We have to dig through a little bit more information here. Because of the nature, it's little information seems to be not 100% correct.
Okay, thank you.
My turn?
Yeah.
On that sheet, we've got the, your reported rent was $40 per square foot on the rental. Is that on on that space? Is that correct? Storage? Was that the correct amount? That was from the 2011 lease.
Yeah, I can't I don't remember the exact amount we're paying for the storage space.
Okay. But on here, on my sheet, it's showing 143 for the store itself per square foot. And you're saying it's what, 120?
The 143 is for the spot where the store is.
That's where the store is. I thought I heard you say 120.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're paying currently per square foot is 120.
Oh, it changed? You did a new lease up then?
Yes, because our first lease was from 2011. There was a 5-year, then we extended it, and then 2021 we were supposed to be moved already. So they negotiated a new lease. I guess it must have been at a lower rate. And then we had about a year, and then they gave us I believe a 5 or 6 month lease leads us to today.
Okay, but what's the 2021 lease? What was the amount on that one? That's the one we should be looking at. Was it much lower than the?
It was 120.
It was 120.
Yeah. The date on that one is November 2nd, 2021. Yeah,
that's where we get the 2160 per month, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I've got my questions asked. That was number 10. Anything in summation?
Good, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
And you, sir, anything in summation?
The only thing I could say really is, our spot there really doesn't have any value because it's going to be demolished in the near future. So.
Okay, thank you very much for your presentation. And that will we've heard all the items scheduled for this hearing, and this meeting is now adjourned.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.